Most baseball fans in America, even casual fans, are aware that their sport is huge in Japan, and could probably name a few players that have come from that country to play Major League Ball. But it's unlikely that they could tell you much about Japan's own professional baseball league, a league that dates back to the 1930s, is steeped in tradition, and is the second highest level of baseball competition in the world, trailing only Major League Baseball. Not to mention being the most popular pro sports league in Japan. That's what I'm here to do for you today. Let me introduce you to Nippon Professional Baseball. Nippon Professional Baseball, known to locals simply as Pro-Yaku, meaning pro baseball, is made of 12 ball clubs, with 6 teams in each of its 2 leagues, the Central League and the Pacific League. Let's take a quick look at each of those teams, starting in the Central League. We start in Tokyo with the Yomiuri Giants, known locally as just Giants, or Kyojin, which is Japanese for giant. They're often referred to as the Yankees of Japan, both because of their immense popularity and due to their dominance, having won 36 league pennants and 22 Japan Series championships. They play their home games at the 46,000 capacity Tokyo Dome, where it's almost always a sellout. Famous players from the past include EIJI SAWAMURA, who in 1936 threw the first no-hitter in league history, SADAHARU, the league's home run king, with 868 homers in his career, and also Hideki Matsui, well known among Yankees fans for being named the 2009 World Series MVP. The present-day Giants are led by 12-year veteran HAYATO Sakamoto, a .345 batter who also hit 18 homers last year. 22-year-old KAZUMA OKAMOTO hit 33 home runs. As for pitching, Tomoyuki SUGANO led the league with a .214 ERA to go with his 15 wins. Just 10 minutes from there by taxi is Meiji Jingu Stadium, home to the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. This team hasn't had the kind of success the Giants have had, but from 1993 to 2001, they captured 4 Japan Series titles under manager Katsuya Nomura, and they remain competitive today. The best player in club history would have to be Masaichi Kaneda, who went an unbelievable 14 straight seasons with 20 or more wins. The stadium opened in 1926, making it one of the oldest in Japan. If you see one of their games, you may notice the fans holding up umbrellas instead of waving towels after the Swallows score a run. This may seem silly at first until you realize that in an outdoor stadium, in an area known for sudden rain, an umbrella seems like a much better idea than a towel. Last year, the Swallows' batting leader was MLB returnee NORICHIKA AOKI. Another strong hitter is TETSUTO YAMADA. He hit .315 with 34 home runs. And who could forget Vladimir Ballantyne? His 60 homers back in 2013 is a single-season record in Japan. Last year, he led the team with 38. Let's get out of that city now and into another huge city 45 minutes from where we just were. Yokohama is home to the DNA Baystars, previously known as the Whales, the Robins, and then the Whales again. This team has been around since 1950, but has only won the Japan Series twice, the last one being in 1998. They reached the Japan Series for a third time in 2017, but came up short. The team is currently managed by Venezuelan Alex Ramirez, the only foreign-born manager in the league. He's got a lot of power in the current lineup. NEFTALI Soto and Yoshimoto Tsutsugo were first and third respectively in the Central League in home runs last year. Our next stop is Japan's 4th largest city, Nagoya, home to the 9-time Central League champions, the Chunichi Dragons. If you've ever seen the movie Mr. Baseball, these are the same Dragons that Tom Selleck's character played for. Their most legendary player by far was MICHIO Nishizawa, who started his pro career at age 15, won 20 games at age 18. Later, threw 311 pitches in a 28-inning game, and in his older years became a position player and hit 46 home runs in a season. Talk about a legend. Today's Dragons can't match what he did, but they've still got talent. DAYAN VICIEDO and RYOSUKE HIRATA were first and third respectively in Central League batting last year. A little further west, we find ourselves in the little city of Nishinomiya. If the Giants are the Yankees of Japan, then the Hanshin Tigers could be called Japan's Red Sox. That is, they are the second most popular team, have loyal and passionate fans, but unfortunately are known for their history of losing, accompanied by a supposed curse. In 1985, the Tigers won their only Japan Series championship in more than 80 years of existence. During their victory celebration, several Tigers fans threw a Colonel Sanders statue into a canal. This was the beginning of what is known as the Curse of the Colonel. That statue was missing for many years, and the left hand and glasses are still missing today. Many people believe Hanshin will never win another championship until all parts of the statue are recovered. Home games are played at Koshien Stadium, the largest in Japan by capacity, with over 47,000 seats. This stadium opened in 1924, and Babe Ruth played an exhibition there 10 years later. The most noticeable feature is the all-dirt infield. Looking through their history, you'll find two amazing pitchers. From 1959 to 1973, MINORU MURAYAMA threw 192 complete games, with a career ERA of 2.09. Yutaka Enatsu is the other one. His 401 strikeouts in 1968 is a league record. Presently, the Tigers are led by veteran outfielder Yoshio Itoi. The last stop on our Central League tour is Hiroshima, home to the reigning league champion Hiroshima Toyo Carp. There are so many reasons to see this team, not only because of their recent success, but also for their ballpark, Mazda Zoom Zoom Stadium, which turns 10 years old this year. They have won the last 3 league pennants, but have lost in the Japan Series all 3 times. They haven't won at all since 1984, the longest drought for any team in either league. 3 players stand out in Carp history. Koji Yamamoto is 4th on Japan's all-time home run list. Sachio Kinugasa is Japan's Iron Man, having played in 2,215 consecutive games. And the recently retired Hiroki Kuroda played for the Carp before and after his time in Major League. Outfielder Yoshihiro MARU was named Central League MVP the last 2 years in Hiroshima, but unfortunately for the Carp, he has signed with the Giants this past offseason. But on the bright side, they've still got a young pitcher named DAICHI OHSERA with a sub-3 ERA. And now we head on over to Pacific League. The only big difference between the two leagues is that Pacific uses the designated hitter, while Central does not. Also, Pacific League teams are spread out more, rather than being concentrated in the middle of the country. We start our Pacific League journey in Sapporo, the capital of the northernmost island of Hokkaido. The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, known in the old days as the Flyers, have only been in Hokkaido since 2004, when they moved there from Tokyo. While in Tokyo, they shared a venue with the Giants, and were always overshadowed by their giant roommates. They also only had 1 championship to their name, and were known for their second-half collapses in the 90s. That all changed when they relocated to the Sapporo Dome. Since moving there, they've won 5 pennants and 2 championships, the last one coming in 2016. The best-known fighters are both recent ones. DARVISH dominated Pacific League hitters before going to MLB to become a 4-time All-Star. And Shohei Ohtani was a star on the mound and at the plate as a fighter. Last year, he took his talents to Los Angeles, where he was named American League Rookie of the Year. The next great pitcher to come from there may be 24-year-old Naoyuki Uwasawa, who was 3rd in the league in ERA last year, and 25-year-old catcher Kensuke Kondo hit .323 last year. Heading a little bit south, but still way up north, we land in the city of Sendai, where we find the newest team in Japan, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Though they've only been around a short time, they've already managed to win the Japan Series, that one coming in 2013. Like the Fighters, the Eagles boast 2 recent star pitchers who have made the trip across the Pacific. Hisashi Iwakuma was the team's ace before going to the Seattle Mariners, where he finished 3rd in Cy Young voting in 2013. His shoes were filled by Masahiro Tanaka, who led the Eagles to the Japan Series with a 24-0 record and a 1.27 ERA. Tanaka is now a starting pitcher for the Yankees. Presently, Takayuki Kishi is the Eagles' ace. He led the Pacific League with a 2.72 ERA last season. but I wouldn't count on him making the trip to MLB. He's already 34. Getting back to the heart of the country, we land in the Tokyo suburb of Chiba, home to the country's largest international airport, Disneyland, and the Chiba Lotte Marines. Their home ballpark is the recently renamed Zozo Marine Stadium. One unique feature of this venue is the wall extending high above the outfield seats, blocking the scenic ocean view on the other side from all the spectators. The Marines won the first ever Japan Series in the year 1950. They won it again in 1974, breaking a 9-year championship streak by the Giants. In 2005, they won it all under American manager Bobby Valentine, the first foreign-born manager to accomplish this. Their last title came in 2010, for a grand total of 4. One of the Marine heroes is Kaoru Betto, who was the first ever Pacific League MVP back in 1950. The team is managed by 44-year-old Tadahito Iguchi, the youngest manager in the league, who just retired as a Marine player after the 2017 season. Like the last two teams I talked about, pitching is the strength here. Starting pitcher Mike Bolsinger and closer Tatsuya Uchi are at the top of that list. In Saitama, another Tokyo suburb not far away, the Seibu Lions are a force to be reckoned with. With 22 pennants and 13 championships, they are to Pacific League what the Giants are to the Central League. Their home, now known as the MetLife Dome, is unusual in that it has a roof but no walls. The best time for this ball club was in the late 80s and early 90s when they won 6 championships in 7 years. There are too many legendary Lion players to name here, but I'll mention a few. Kazuhiro Kiyohara hit over 500 career home runs. Pitcher Kimiyasu Kudo played for a record 28 years. And another pitcher, Daisuke Matsuzaka, who later pitched for the Boston Red Sox, is the only player to be named MVP of the World Baseball Classic twice. There's no shortage of present-day talent either. Outfielder Shogo Akiyama last year had an on-base percentage over 400, while another outfielder, Hotaka Yamakawa, was the league leader in home runs with 47, besting teammate Hideo Asamura, who hit 32. Pitchers Shinsaburo Tawata and Yusei Kikuchi were among the league leaders in wins and ERA. Kikuchi left the Lions this past offseason to sign with the Seattle Mariners. Moving on to the KYOSERA Dome in Osaka, we find the Oryx Buffaloes. The Buffaloes are overshadowed in this metro area by the more popular Hanshin Tigers, who play their home games less than an hour away. Still, the Buffaloes managed to maintain a strong fan base in the area. This team was formed in 2004 when the Oryx Blue Wave and the Kintetsu Buffaloes merged into one team. The Blue Wave had been previously known as the Braves, and it was under that name when they had their best years, winning 6 pennants in the 1970s, along with 3 Japan Series titles. Their 4th and final championship came in 1996 as the Blue Wave. The Kintetsu Buffalo never won a championship, but they had a great pitcher named Keishi Suzuki, who, from 1966 to 1985, won over 300 games and recorded over 3,000 strikeouts. As for the Blue Wave, their greatest ever was none other than Ichiro Suzuki, who will undoubtedly become the first Japanese player inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame. Since the merger, the Buffaloes have only made the postseason once, and have yet to make it to the Japan Series. If you see the Buffaloes now, keep an eye on closer Hirotoshi Masui, who racked up 35 saves last year. Our final stop is in Fukuoka, the largest city on the southernmost main island of Kyushu, and you could certainly say we saved the best for last. The SoftBank Hawks have been the most dominant team in Japan in the present decade. 4 of the last 5 Japan Series have been won by the Hawks, who have 9 championships in their team's history. Their home is the Fukuoka Yahoo-Oku Dome. Yahoo-Oku is short for Yahoo Auction. This was the first stadium in Japan built with a retractable roof. Back in the 1960s, Masanori Murakami, who played for the Hawks, became the first ever Japanese player to play in MLB, playing 2 seasons as a relief pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. Another well-known Hawk was Katsuya Nomura. His 657 career home runs are second on the all-time list. Right behind him, at number 3 on the list, is Hiromitsu Kadota, who belted 567 during his time. And let's not forget about today's players, who make up the greatest era in Hawks history. Yuki Yanagita, the 2015 MVP, hit .352 with 36 home runs last year. Teammate Nobuhiro Matsuda hit 32 of them. They have a pair of 13-game winners on the mound, and a closer named Yuito Mori. This 26-year-old led the league with 37 saves last year. And those are the 12 teams of Nippon Professional Baseball. From the end of March to the start of October, they play a 143-game schedule. 3 teams from each league make the postseason. The team that finishes first in the regular season gets a first-round bye. The second and third place teams meet in a best-of-3 series. All 3 games are played at the second-place team's home field. The winner of that moves on to face the number 1 team in a best-of-5 series. The number 1 team gets to host all 5 games. These 2 rounds are known as the Climax Series. The champion of each Climax Series advances to the Japan Series, a best-of-7 series. Just like the World Series, one team hosts games 1, 2, 6, and 7, while the other team gets games 3, 4, and 5. In years ending in an odd number, the Pacific League team will get home field advantage, while even-numbered years go to the team from Central League. Interleague play takes place in May and June, where each team plays a 3-game series with every team from the opposing league. That's 6 3-game series, 3 of them at home and 3 on the road. In the first half of July, the All-Star Series is played between the 2 leagues, a 2-game series played on a Saturday and Sunday. Both Interleague play and the All-Star Series have been dominated by the Pacific League in recent years. Same goes for the Japan Series, with the Hawks winning it most of the time, as I previously mentioned. Unlike in MLB, there is such a thing as a tie in Japanese baseball. This occurs when the game is still tied after the 12th inning. This is true even in the Japan Series, meaning that the 2 teams could still be tied after 7 games. In that situation, there would be a Game 8, with no innings limit. 6-man pitching rotations are the norm here, and since Monday is almost always a day off for all teams, this means that pitchers usually only throw once a week. The NPB Hall of Fame is located at Tokyo Dome, so a trip to the hall in the morning can easily be followed by a ball game in the afternoon. If you do go to a game, you'll notice that while the action on the field looks no different from that of Major League Ball, the action in the stands is totally different. The atmosphere to an American feels somewhere between college football and an NBA game, rather than an MLB game. European soccer fans will find the chanting somewhat familiar, but a little different. Fans will usually only chant when their players are up to bat, and these chants change from one player to the next, usually including the player's name. Chants originate from right field for the home team and left field for the visiting team. Many fans will use noisemakers, which can be purchased at the ballpark. These make more noise than clapping and are easier on the hands. The 7th inning stretch is when the team song is played, usually accompanied by waving of the team flag, and for many teams, releasing balloons into the air. You may have noticed that 5 of the 12 teams are located in the Tokyo area, and that some areas of the country are hours away from the nearest professional team. If you find yourself living in one of these areas, fear not. All 12 teams play several games away from their home field every year, often playing in stadiums with as few as 10,000 seats. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, please subscribe. I'll be doing more videos about baseball in Japan, as well as videos about other baseball leagues around the world, including Major League. This is Baseball International, and I'll see you in the next video.